Hey everybody, Joel Norden here, and today I'm going to do a mini review of Night of the Hunter by R.A. Salvatore. I'm not sure if it's Salvatore or Salvatore. You guys can drop in the comments and correct me on that. For now, I'm going to call him R.A. Salvatore. So R.A. Salvatore's New York Times best-selling saga continues as Dark Elf Drizzt Do'Urden returns to Gauntlgrym with old friends by his side once again, as they seek to rescue Bruenor's loyal shield dwarf-turned-vampire. But not only to do Drizzt and his allies face a perilous journey through the Underdark and the dangers of the undead that lie within, but they must cross through a colony of drow who would like nothing better than to see Drizzt Do'Urden dead. So with this one, this was a little bit slower, but it was still really enjoyable in my opinion. There's a lot of politics going on because it kind of jumps back and forth to Berzan, and you're kind of getting some of the same info from different angles, which I don't mind too much, but it definitely slowed things down. So you're like hearing the same thing from like 3 different sources. Oh, they're just finding this out, that kind of thing. The part with the companions themselves going down into Gauntlgrym to find Bruenor's friend, that was great. That was phenomenal. It also plays a little bit with the idea of a few trilogies back, there was the orcs were these beasts, I guess you'd call them, and Drizzt kind of showed everybody that they could be civil, and they came to a treaty, and the orcs end up building a empire, showing that they're, just because of their race, they are not necessarily evil. Well, there's a coup, and it's kind of like hinting that there's a coup, at least. I believe it was, yeah. So there's a coup essentially, and an overthrow in the Orc Kingdom, and there's rumors there's war. So kind of playing around with that idea that this might be a problem 100 years after the initial treaty or whatever was written. All in all, I'd say it's a solid book. The adventure parts were really fun with Drizzt and his companions, and it was kind of nice to see them back in action. I honestly did not think that when I had first heard that the companions would come back from the dead, I didn't know how that would work, and I wasn't really a huge fan of the idea. Shockingly, I ended up loving what he did with that whole line, and sold me on it. So I'm really enjoying that. And yeah, so this one I'm going to go with a 4 out of 5 stars. His writing's phenomenal. His battle scenes are just probably the best that I've seen out of any writer. I've never seen anybody write battle scenes like he writes them phenomenally. Characters, it's a very character-driven story, very enjoyable on that front as well. Like I said, some of the politics slowed it down, but it also gives you a grasp on the world, I guess is what I'd say. And yeah, so this was a nice little intro back into it, and actually it almost felt like a standalone the way it ended, because it really didn't dive into the Orc Kingdom stuff too much, just like kind of hints of stuff that was happening. And so it almost came across like more of a standalone than hey, there's another book after this. There's obviously there's still stuff left unanswered, so you want to continue. But at the same time, it felt like you got a good story out of this, and you don't have to hurry and rush into the next book. So yeah, I'm gonna go 4 out of 5 stars with this. Great start to the series, or to the trilogy, I should say, and I definitely plan on continuing through this review process for the second and third one as well. I wrap those up as So guys, this is my mini review of Night of the Hunter from the Companions Codex #1 by R.A. Salvatore. And like I said, you can correct me if I got that name wrong. It might be Salvatore. I'm not sure, 100% sure how he pronounces that. But yeah, guys, Joel Norden, peace out.